Women who are generally positive, neutral about your weight or body. How did you get to that point? Got older. I accepted the fact that I will never look like anyone else, but I have the power to change things about my body and ultimately make myself feel better in the process. Comparison is a confidence killer. I spent a lot of time just looking at myself naked and appreciating the fact that I have a body that gets me through the day and I should respect it regardless of what society thinks it should look like. As long as I'm happy and healthy, that's all that matters. Things can be worked on and it takes time, but that's okay. The changes and the time it takes is an investment in myself. Now I'm way more confident in myself. I work out 3 times a week and I'm noticing improvements that make me feel good. I worked on being stronger and not hitting a target weight or counting numbers in that sense and just focused on how good I felt. Everyone has their own flaws that they dislike, but one thing I learned is that no one actually cares or notices them until you point them out. We should all be a lot nicer to ourselves. Knowing that I eat properly and make time for exercise. I give thanks to my body for everything it does for me. I wear clothes that I feel are flattering on me. Trigger warning: eating disorders. I was anorexic and bulimic for several years. I'm 5 feet 9 inches and at my lowest I weighed 95 pounds. I was also born with a severe case of pectus carinatum that went untreated for most of my life. I hated my body. Violently. So violently that I starved it, almost to death. I stood in the mirror for hours sobbing and critiquing it. I once made a list of 100 things I hated about it from head to toe. Then in my early 20s, pain caused by my deformity finally caused me to seek treatment and I got surgery to correct it. I'd obsessed over this deformity my entire life. Just a few months post-op, I'd pick something else to fixate on and hate. That's when I figured it out. With almost no fat and with my deformity corrected, I was what I'd always thought was my ideal self and I still wasn't happy. I did some soul searching and a few thoughts started to form. I am a thing of nature and I belong to this earth. I deserve to be here just as much as the flowers and the trees. My body does unbelievable, nearly magical things to keep me alive. I tried to kill it out of hatred and it did everything it could to save me. It loved me unconditionally and I did not love it back. If I did not change my mindset, I was going to die unhappy. It seems so simple, but I finally made a conscious decision to try to enjoy life and everything it had to offer, including the wonderful taste of cheese, chocolate, and wine, guilt-free. I gained 30 pounds, dared to leave the house without makeup, and stopped shaving my underarms. Nothing bad happened. No one judged or laughed at me. Men still wanted me, not that this should be any judge of a woman's worth. I'm unbelievably fucking happy. And I love my squishy, shapely, imperfect body that allows me live on this earth and feel the sun on my skin. Why would I ever want go back to spending the majority of my days counting calories and pinching at my fat in the mirror? If you've gotten this far, I'll leave you with this quote, which I revisit often. And I said to my body, softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath. And replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this. I decided to act like a guy and just go around thinking I'm a total gift to everyone. It's worked pretty well, I think. I used to have body image issues. I became obsessed and eventually got so sick of stressing over it. I realized that no matter what shape or size I was, I kept on seeing myself as grotesque when I didn't even view other people that way, no matter their shape or size. It was clear that my body wasn't the problem, but my mentality was. So I stopped looking in a mirror and pictures of myself for a year and just stopped caring about how I looked. Now I can see myself and feel positive or neutral. I got enough problems. How my body looks seems like an incredibly low concern now. Squatted and did leg exercises for several years. 1. Worked really hard on self-acceptance and self-compassion in therapy. 2. Eliminated fashion magazines, celebrity gossip websites, and anything else that makes me feel bad about my body from my life. 3. Learned more about the actual science of body size, mainly that long-term significant weight loss isn't achievable for about 98% of people and that the health effects of being overweight are severely distorted in how they're presented to the world. The podcast Maintenance Phase is a great resource for accurate information about how human body weight actually functions. 4. Followed more body positivity activists and fat, chubby babes on social media. 5. Made it a personal boundary that friends who want to talk about their intentional weight loss efforts, body size anxiety, etc. should not do so with me because of my history of restrictive, disordered eating. 6. Ultimately just decided I'd rather be happy than be thin. When I was skinny I was shamed for being too skinny. Now that I'm plump no one says anything to my face. Generally, I don't give a f. My perfect 18-year-old body wasn't good enough for some people and I stopped caring. Woman shrugging light skin tone. I've always been like this. They're just not things I've ever been super concerned about. Years of regular exercise and having a generally healthy diet. I focus on what my body can do. Who cares if I gained a few pounds if now I can lift more or run more? I use the overexposure method. I hate my thighs? Time to wear short shorts at home and in public. Hate my stomach? Time for crop tops, baby. After seeing myself in the mirror in those clothes, seeing those parts of my body became natural and I got used to them. I saw them for what they were, and they no longer concerned me. Took a while though. Someone on the internet somewhere posted something about, see your body as what it is, a body. So although I still struggle, it's a first step that we all kind of have to remember. Our mind rules us out with negative thoughts, we just have to remind our mind who's in charge. Good luck to everyone. I lift weights at least 4 times a week and generally prefer a softer, curvier look aesthetically. This means I don't have to do any diets or excessive cardio to achieve my desired look. I will say that genetics has played a role in me feeling good about my body in terms of proportions and fat distribution. I also got a boob job about 5 years ago which did wonders for my confidence. I came to the realization that being a human, living in this stupid little meat sack that I am responsible for, is embarrassing and ghetto for everyone involved. Existing is so embarrassing. At the end of the day, we live in these meat suits that we have to fill, clothe, clean, empty, and even recharge. I realized it doesn't matter what it looks like, or how old it is, or what wear it has incurred. As long as the meat suit is functional and operable, I think it's the least exciting part about humans. It's our personalities and quirks that really make us special. On paper we all basically have the same operational parts, so as long as they work, I decided I won't complain about the appearance of my own suit, or anyone else's for that matter, if unnecessary smiley face. I still tell people if they have something stuck between their teeth though. That's just being polite to your fellow meat sack's smiling face with tear. I was privileged and lucky enough to have a body not really scrutinized under modern beauty standards. BC it fits it, and what flaws I was told about I learned after I was secure enough in my sense of self to realize they were arbitrarily bullshit and normal human things. IDK what it's like to be dark-skinned, fat, or physically disabled. I don't doubt that would negatively affect how you view yourself because of oppressive beauty standards. Been a lot of different weights and realized that I'm the same person at all of them. I can be self-conscious and hate my body at size 2 and size 12. I can love and appreciate my body at size 2 and size 12. It's all in my head. I honestly never cared. I have a good figure now, but even back in my 13-14s when I was overweight and everyone would talk about it including my mother, I was fine. I hated the fact that they would talk about me like that and it would make me sad, but those opinions were never internal. Probably because I never compared myself to other girls.